And welcome to the FCS semifinals. What a scene, man. Where else would we rather be? One of the most beautiful parts of this great country, Bozeman, Montana, and a football crazy town, especially this year. It's been a really special year for Montana State. Undefeated, #1 ranked team in the country, one win away from a chance to play for a championship, and taking on South Dakota, the 4 seed. The run out here in Bozeman, unlike anywhere else. The rodeo team leads the Bobcats onto the field. North Dakota State, you just saw that moments ago, the #2 seed, powerhouse in FCS. They will meet the winner of this one on January 6th in Frisco. And hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni with us as well. Great to have you with us. You know, the whole country, Brock, is seeing the first year of the 12-team FBS playoff. Meanwhile, for decades, we've had a system like that here at the FCS level, and the cream rises to the top. We got a great matchup here today.
We certainly do, and two phenomenal teams that are 60 minutes away from playing for a national title, and there's no shortage of star power out there on that field today. There's going to be 10 All-Americans combined between the two teams. They have the same style of play. Both want to run the football. They want to play great defense. Two of the best scoring offenses in all of FCS.
Should be a great matchup. We'll start with Montana State, Brock, because they have had a special year. 14-0 for the first time in program history. They're the #1 ranked team at the FCS level. They've got star power left and right. Tommy Mellott, their quarterback, is kind of the guy who leads it all.
He really is. He's been the heartbeat and the linchpin for this football team the last 4 seasons. Tommy football, he can do it all, but also you have Adam Jones, a freshman of the year in the Big Sky Conference, running back out of Sentinel High School in Missoula, Montana. And then defensively, you have Brody Grebe leading the way, a 3-time All-American, the Melstone Cowboy. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then Brent Vegan with another Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, National Coach of the Year honor for Brent, who's done a great job building this program up. They also get one of their big weapons back, Scott Humphrey, who missed last week in the quarterfinals. Excellent running back, so they're as healthy as they've been in a long time.
Certainly, and with Humphrey back in the backfield, you truly have a 3-headed monster when it comes to the running game with Montana State. Humphrey, someone who went over 1,300 yards on the season and double-digit touchdowns.
All right, meanwhile, South Dakota, look, the Coyotes, this has been a special year for them as well. They've never been in the semifinals at the FCS level, so it's a first-time game for them, and they lean on their running game.
They certainly do. With the Coyotes, it all starts with Charles Pierre, an honorable mention All-American, and Travis Tice, who's just had a phenomenal career for the Coyotes, 39 career touchdowns, which is a school record. These two are going to have a lot of fun out there today. They're going to carry the load for South Dakota, and they're going to go against arguably their best test of the season with this Montana State defense.
Yeah, the Coyotes, they're talented. They could pull off an upset. The guy who's going to try to prevent that, the head coach of the Bobcats, Brent Vegan, down with Stormy.
Coach Vegan, just like your team, this South Dakota group has a dynamic run game. What have you guys prioritized to slow them down today?
Well, we got to win the line of scrimmage both ways. When teams want to run the ball, you want to stop the run. That's what wins games this time of year, and we got to be on it both ways. We got to find a way to run it. We got to find a way to stop it.
Starting to feel the energy in this building, a spot in the title game on the line. What are you feeling right now?
No, this is something. This, our crowd here is amazing. This is what college football is all about. Can't wait to get it going.
Good luck today.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Stormy. Thanks to Coach Vegan. And it is true, like this is the pure form of college football. A lot of kids who are playing their last football game of their careers. This storied senior class at Montana State, and even if the Bobcats advance, last chance to play in this stadium. South Dakota, same way. I mean, there's some players who can play at the next level in this game for sure. Bob Nielsen, the head coach, done an excellent job building the South Dakota program up to get to this point, but it's fun to be here.
It certainly is, and for these kids and these coaches, this is as big as it gets. When you grow up in South Dakota, when you grow up in Montana in these small rural communities, these are the games that you dream about being a part of. So we're going to see the best from both of them. It's going to be an action-packed, physical football game that's truly going to come down to who wins the line of scrimmage. I think we're in for a good one.
Spoken like a guy who grew up in the state of Montana. And that's exactly what Brock Osweiler did. These programs here, both of them so important to the people here who love football. And it is a great scene. A spot in the championship game is on the line. South Dakota won the toss. They deferred. So Montana State's going to get the ball first. And the kickoff was ugly. Hooked out of bounds for a penalty, and that's going to give Montana State and their high-powered offense good starting field position to begin the game.
Certainly, and with this Montana State offense, it all starts with the quarterback, Tommy Mellott, 4-year starter, just has been absolutely sensational. Over 3,000 career rushing yards, 5,000 career passing yards. There's only one thing left in his career to check off, and that is win a national title. He is 60 minutes away, but he has a great test against South Dakota today.
You can't overstate how beloved that young man is here and in the state of Montana. What a career. Tommy Mellott playing on this field for the final time. He's going to throw the ball. First play from scrimmage, and he finds Taco Dowler along the right sideline for a big gain to start things.
Well, and we talked about Tommy Mellott's legs. He's an excellent runner, and because of that, you get so many eyes in the backfield from the linebacker and safety position on that play-action fake. That's what allows Taco Dowler to get to the second level. Just a perfect start for the Bobcats.
So already into South Dakota territory after one play from scrimmage. You got Humphrey in the backfield alongside Mellott, and they're going to give it to Humphrey, who showed some good bursts there. He looked pretty healthy. I know it was just 4, maybe 5 yards on first down, but he looked good.
Well, and just a phenomenal start for this Montana State offensive line led by right guard Marcus Weir. You're going to see him on the right side. Watch how he just moves this defensive front with the double team with Cole Sane at the center position. That is something that Montana State has done all season long. In South Dakota, they're going to have to combat that big offensive front.
So second down for the Bobcats. Alexander, the receiver, came in motion. Mellott's going to run, and Tommy Mellott will go into a slide short of a first down. And I think they do want Tommy. He's going to have full freedom to run as much as he can, but they like him to avoid those big hits if possible. 5th most passing yards, 4th most rush yards in a career. Same guy.
Yeah, and like we said, his name's Tommy Touchdown for a reason. All he's done since taking over the starting quarterback position in the 2021 playoffs was win football games and score points. The only thing that's evaded him is a national title. He has an opportunity to get his team there today, but once again, he is facing a top 5 defense at the FCS level.
So 3rd and 2, as you would expect for the undefeated #1 ranked Bobcats. Really good third down team. Mellott gets to the corner and gets the first down. And that's just pure speed. There wasn't a whole lot there, but got enough to get the first down.
Well, yeah, and that's the quarterback counter scheme that Montana State relies upon so much. It creates so much misdirection and eye candy inside for opposing linebackers. Just the slightest hesitation is going to allow Tommy Mellott to capture the edge, that time picking up a first down.
Guy you talked about in the open, Brock, Adam Jones, the freshman of the year in the Big Sky, had a terrific first year on the field for Montana State. He's down in the backfield alongside Mellott. He'll get his first touch. And got tackled right near the line of scrimmage, fell forward and got a yard. South Dakota, they do have some big guys up front. That was Mo Newsom. Their defensive line is formidable.
Oh, the defensive line for South Dakota is fantastic, and they're really led by big number 90, Mikeese Grace, who's the Defensive Player of the Year in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. He's at the bottom of your screen coming up here on the next play. He's a force to reckon with, and he's somebody that can wreck a game. The Cats need to know where he is at all times.
South Dakota won a share of the Missouri Valley for the first time in their program's history. Play fake. Mellott looking downfield. End zone. And caught! Touchdown! Taco Dowler. Wide open, and Tommy Mellott finds him for the first points of the game. That touchdown pass, 34 yards. That's a pretty good statement from the Bobcats. 6 plays, 65 yards in 3 minutes to start this semifinal game.
Well, that's exactly how you want to start if you're Brent Vegan and the Montana State Bobcats. Just marching right down the field, a perfect throw to cap off a great drive. We're going to show you how that happened. You're going to catch South Dakota State in quarters coverage, and you're going to get the tight end to chew up the strong safety. And then you're going to get a big post outside by Taco Dowler, and just a perfect throw by Tommy Mellott to start the game here to allow Montana State to strike first.
That's how you draw it up. And there is, look, Brock, you've been there as a player. There is pressure on this Montana State team to finish off what's been an amazing year, but you wouldn't know it looking at Tommy Mellott. He doesn't look like a guy who has the weight of the world on his shoulders.
No, and that was a big question coming into this semifinal game is how do you handle your emotions early on? Do your anxieties get the best of you? Do you press? We didn't see any of that out of Montana State. What a great drive. And then Taco Dowler just completely beating Shahid Barros, somebody that might want to get some hands on Dowler at the line of scrimmage.
Kickoff for the Bobcats is going to go into the end zone, but returned by Mikey Munn, and that was a bad decision. He gets met at the 10 and tackled there. That was actually Keandre Jones-Logan who returned it for South Dakota. So as opposed to Montana State started with a great field position, won't be the case for the Yotes and their offense, which has had a really good year behind a quarterback that you like, Aiden Bauman.
Yeah, I really do. I think he does a lot of things really well, in particular his decision making, the timing that he throws with, and the accuracy. He's a quarterback that has thrown for multiple touchdowns in 5 consecutive games. He needs to be a difference maker today for the Coyotes.
And it will be loud here inside Bobcat Stadium. There's Aiden. He's had a good career. 3rd year as a starter for this South Dakota program. Hands it off to one of the real leaders. That's Travis Tice, who just didn't have much room. Got a yard on 1st down.
Well, and Travis Tice and Charles Pierre, the double-headed monster in the backfield for the Yotes, they're going to need to carry the load, and that's why they're running the football in the first play of the game. This is the comfortable spot for South Dakota. They like to set up their play-action pass with Bauman by pounding it inside between the tackles. Montana State there to make the tackle early on.
So 2nd and 9. You got Tice and Jones-Logan in the backfield, and now both of them empty the backfield. Bauman, the lefty quarterback, slings it, and that pass is caught. And on his feet, Carter Bell, who's a really good playmaker at that wide receiver spot. First down of the game for the Coyotes.
Well, that was just a beautiful route by slot wide receiver Carter Bell. He's on an option route there. And the thing that I love most about it is he shows patience at the top of the route. He sets up the defensive back. He's playing off of his outside leverage. Just a perfect throw with the timing by Aiden Bauman.
He's a good player, Carter Bell. He will be a problem, I think, for Montana State. 20 career receiving touchdowns. Was a great high school quarterback, but has been a great college wide receiver. Handoff and a big hit, but he is hard to bring down. Man, Tice got knocked backwards and then kept going to gain a yard on 1st down.
Yeah, that's Alec Eckert, big number 97 inside, 6'2", 280 pounds out of Lewiston, Idaho. Don't be fooled by his weight. He is farm strong. You see him winning at the line of scrimmage right there, blowing the offensive guard 2 yards into the backfield. This is somebody that the South Dakota offensive line, they're going to need to get 4 hands on and control, because Eckert, he's a force up front.
So he pushes the line back. Then McCade O'Reilly comes in from his linebacker spot and gets the hit on. So 2nd down and call it 8. With Tice behind Bauman. Fake it to Tice and a throw. That one is completed. And another 1st down out to the 45. This is Karan Adams.
Well, Karan Adams, he has game-breaking speed. He's somebody that you better get your hands on him at the line of scrimmage or he's gone. Aiden Bauman doing a phenomenal job recognizing how Montana State's playing. They're playing in soft zone coverage. You see the bail technique there by Woodard on the outside. And Bauman's going to take that throw all day early on in this football game.
He's a big dude at the quarterback position, can make all the throws. This guy was a 4-star prospect in high school, started his career at Iowa State. His dad played in the NFL. Bauman pitches it. Tice, right side, big hole. And Tice, still on his feet, is going to go sideline, cut it middle to the 15. Tice, touchdown! What a run! 55 yards.
What an answer by the Coyotes. Not flinching for a second. This is a raucous crowd here in Bozeman, Montana today. Just an excellent job, and it really all starts with L.J. Phillips, the fullback. Watch the lead block that he sets up for Travis Tice. Offensive line does a phenomenal job securing level 1. L.J. Phillips lays a great block on the strong safety, and Tice does the rest.
Wow. That was a terrific answer. Extra point is up and good from Will Leyland to tie this game. So if you thought the Yotes might be a little intimidated with the way the game started, I don't think so.
No, there's no intimidation with South Dakota. They're here to play a ball game today, and what a great one we have. 7-7 here in Bozeman.
Well, it's been a tremendous year for Travis Tice, and yet with all of his accomplishment, just had the longest run he's had all year. Travis Tice, his 19th rushing touchdown of the season. One more to tie an all-time South Dakota single-season record. And what an answer from the Yotes.
Just a phenomenal season for Travis Tice. You talk to his offensive coordinator, Josh Davis, and head coach Bob Nielsen, and they say if there was a pitcher associated with the definition of a football player in the dictionary, it'd be Travis Tice, and you saw why on that last drive.
It was the missing piece for this program. They had a good sort of defensive identity, a lot of solid football on that side of the ball. They had to get the offense better, and they've done it. Touchback. So the Montana State offense will come on the field here for their second drive. Tied up 7-7. Still early in this one, first quarter, with a spot in the FCS championship game on the line. The winner of this game will play North Dakota State January 6th on the neutral site field in Frisco, Texas, where Tommy Mellott played against North Dakota State as a freshman. Hoping to get back there and get one more crack at the Bison.
He did, and don't forget, the Bison knocked Montana State out of the playoffs last year in the quarterfinals. It was a 1-point loss for Montana State, so you know they want some redemption on North Dakota State.
I think as intimidating as that North Dakota State program can be, Mellott keeps it, and Mellott avoided the big hit and got a few yards on first down. As intimidating as that program can be, I think Bobcats fans, they were rooting for North Dakota State to be in that championship game, hoping that they'll have a chance to get them.
Well, certainly, and that's what you want as an athlete, right? If someone gets the best of you, you want another shot at them. You don't want to go. It's like anything in life. Hey, let me have another game. Give me another try. You know, Tommy Mellott and the rest of this program, they want a shot at the Bison.
That's Dowler had the touchdown catch in motion. Humphrey, the running back. And Humphrey, there was a hole, got kind of knocked off balance. Otherwise, that had a chance to be a big gain. He gets 6 to set up 3rd and short.
This is exactly where Montana State wants to live. They're having success on 1st and 2nd down running the football. And now here on 3rd and short, you don't have to put the football in the air if you don't want to. And with Tommy Mellott and the threat that he has to run the football, South Dakota, they have to play 11 on 11. So this makes it a very difficult situation for the Coyotes. Be anxious to see what Montana State goes with here.
You saw the double tight ends move to the right side. You got Adam Jones, the freshman running back, and they're going to give it on a jet sweep. And South Dakota saw that coming. Man, that play goes backwards. Ty McCullough just had nowhere to go. And that negative play means Montana State's going to have to punt the ball away.
Well, and that all happened because of cornerback number 21, Mike Reed. He set the edge for the Yotes to force this speed sweep back inside. McCullough, one of the fastest guys on the field. You see that edge being set there. He had to turn it up. He couldn't capture the edge. That was great defense by South Dakota to force the punt and get off the field.
And look, those plays have been very successful for the Bobcats this year for the most part. But now a flag on 4th and short. That might cost South Dakota big time. Wow. Wow. After they came up with the stop, assuming that that's against the Coyotes, that's going to be a 1st down.
Offside. Number 49. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Yeah, that's almost like a turnover, that penalty.
No question. You're about to get the ball back to your offense and get decent field position. Instead, Montana State, they get a fresh set of downs. It's these plays. It's the unforced errors in games like this. Big stage games, you're one win away from getting to the national title. These are the things that add up. Very undisciplined play early on by South Dakota.
I think that was Wade Abrams, a linebacker, who committed a huge penalty. So that gives Montana State a fresh set of downs. Mellott right back on the field, hands it to Jones, and Jones trying to stay on his feet, but he loses yardage. So far, the run defense for South Dakota has been outstanding.
Yeah, it really has. And that time it's Mykese Grace. We were just talking about him, the Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Watch what he does on right tackle Fleischman. Gets underneath his pads, sets him up, gets into the backfield. That's why he won the Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, this is a Montana State team that averages 300 yards rushing a game. They have bulldozed teams all year. Having a harder time here in the first quarter. Mellott sailed it over Dowler, incomplete. Dowler was open after the little play fake and run fake. Incomplete. It's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, the play action froze the linebackers for a second. It allowed Dowler to get behind him at the second level. Just a little misfire by Tommy Mellott. But you need to give a lot of credit to South Dakota. This game's going to come down to who wins first and second down. Can you get the other team off schedule? You just mentioned it. The Cats average over 300 yards per game on the ground. By winning first down for South Dakota, it forces Montana State into a passing situation. That's not how they want to play.
I mean, as a team, they average almost 7 yards a rush. Mellott in the pocket on 3rd and long. Tommy Mellott now going to scramble. Mellott's got to get around one defender. He does. Leans forward, and I think they're spotting him short. He thought he got it. Wow, they spot him way short. I don't know about that spot. That official on the sideline thought he stepped out of bounds. And the offense is staying on the field. It's 4th down after a gain of 10. I say the offense is. The punter comes out.
Yeah, I thought Brent Vigen might go for this one. But the fact that he's looks like about a full 2 yards short early on in the football game, you want to play field position. Probably a smart call by Coach Vigen. But how about the effort by Tommy Mellott, almost picking up that 3rd and extra long?
It was hard to tell, but I guess maybe his foot was out of bounds. I don't know, though. Punt, meanwhile, sails into the end zone for a touchback. So the penalty against South Dakota could have been huge. Instead, their defense holds up, and they get the ball back in the first quarter here in Bozeman, tied at 7. Well, when you think back to some of the great teams in the history of FCS football, what we used to call Division I AA, maybe the greatest of all time would be that Marshall team, just because of the one guy. Randy Moss was incredible. How about App State? They won 3 consecutive FCS championships. They had that iconic win at the Big House. North Dakota State recently, the dynasty. Trey Lance was the leader of that 2019 championship team. Last couple years, it's been South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, with back-to-back titles. They will not have a chance for a three-peat this year. They lost earlier today in the first semifinal game. Undefeated FCS teams all time, and some of the great teams in the history of this level of football. Montana State has a chance to join that list, but they got their hands full here in this semifinal game. Tied up 7-7. South Dakota gets the ball back. That's Tice, and Travis Tice on first down gets a couple of yards and then leads forward and gets a couple more.
It's a really good play by strong safety Rylan Ort coming in there, getting a hat on him. If he doesn't make that tackle, Tice is getting ready to break another big one. I think you need to give a lot of credit to this South Dakota offensive line right now. They're big up front, 6'7", 315, 6'8", 320, and that's kind of the size across the board. They're moving that Montana State defensive line right now.
Maybe one of the biggest differences from, say, those flashbacks from years ago at the FCS level to now. There's some big dudes up front on both sides of the ball. Now a direct snap to Tice, who runs into a wall. Tice got a yard, maybe 2 to set up 3rd down.
You know, Fleming, you talk about the size of this football team. That's how the Missouri Valley Football Conference, that's how they build their teams. You look at North Dakota State, you look at South Dakota State, and now South Dakota, they're big up front. They want to be able to control the tempo of the football game, control the clock, and that's all done by running the football. But this is where Montana State wants to be. This is an obvious passing situation, putting the ball in Aiden Bauman's hands here on 3rd down.
Play clock winding down, and then they move. The right tackle, Bryce Henderson, jumped. It is loud here.
Ball start, number 55, offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
It may not be Happy Valley, the scene we saw earlier today at the FBS level, but 18,000 strong are making noise.
Well, and that's right. Just under 20,000 fans here in Bozeman, Montana. One of the best environments in all of FCS football. And they're going to play a factor in this game. You see it right there. There's a big difference between 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 9 as a play caller and a quarterback. Now, the Montana State defensive line, they get a tee off here on 3rd down. Keep an eye at the bottom of your screen, number 41, Brody Grebe.
Excellent pass rusher, got into the pocket. The throw knocked away. Intended for Javion Phelps, who had a little opening. It wasn't a bad throw, but John Johnson, really good play on the ball. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that's right, Flem. Bauman put that football exactly where the quarterback needed to do, but just phenomenal defense outside by John Johnson, getting a hand in there late. Like I said, Bauman, he's going to throw on time. He's accurate. That ball's exactly where it needed to be, but great coverage by Johnson, getting the football back for his offense and forcing the punt.
Tyler Ebel, the punter, with a very dangerous return man, Taco Dowler, standing back around the Montana State 30. Short punt, very short. Dowler makes a running catch. No fair catch signal. Then gets knocked out of bounds in South Dakota territory. So that was a good play by him to run up and catch that one. The Bobcats have the ball when we come back. Well, the senior captain touchdown, Tommy Mellott, Montana State. He and the offense coming back on the field. What a storied career and life as an athlete in this state. Tommy grew up in Butte, maybe the most famous Butte native since Evel Knievel. Started off, his mom told us, as a wrestler, then began to play pee-wee football. Look at the scenery in Butte. Probably like what you had when you were a kid growing up playing football in this state. He was an all-state football player, basketball player, track and field athlete. Stayed close to home to play for the Bobcats. He's had an amazing career. One of the all-time greats. Trying to get back to the FCS championship game and have a crack at his first national title. Tie game 7-7, 3:50 to go first quarter. And you will not find one person, even Grizzlies fans in this state, who will say a bad word about Tommy Mellott. He's a great student. He's a 4.0 student. He's an engineering grad.
He's an all-American kid out of Butte, America. There's not enough great things you can say about him. His intangibles and leadership is just off the charts. I talked to his high school coach this week, Ari Gray. He said by far the hardest worker he's ever been around. He used to show up at his house at 8 o'clock at night when he was in high school and say, hey, can I get the keys to the weight room? I want to go get a workout. I mean, just like I said, the intangibles, the leadership, the work ethic, he means everything to this Montana State football program.
2nd down and 5 for Mellott, who's going to hand it off. They're going to pitch it back and then throw it back to Mellott. Looking downfield, he'll dump it short, and that's McCullough who pitched it back to Mellott and then caught the pass. So they were looking for the big play. That was well covered. They'll take the first down.
Yeah, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Yotes and their secondary. They did a great job of covering downfield. There was nowhere to go for the football with Tommy Mellott. You're going to see a great job by the secondary, but then Mellott does the next best thing. He doesn't force the pass downfield, which is sometimes tough to do for a quarterback, but he checks it down to McCullough. He gets positive yards and a fresh set of downs.
So Tommy Mellott, 1st and 10 Bobcats inside the South Dakota 35. Humphrey in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Left side, he gets wrestled to the turf after a gain of a yard. Let's go down to the sidelines to Stormy.
Well, you guys talk about all the great things that Mellott has done as a student, as an athlete. Let's add community service to that as well. And I just asked him where that motivation comes from to want to work so hard in so many areas. And he said his motto that's been instilled in him for years is how you do anything is how you do everything. And he wants to be the best person and player he can be. And he has somehow found a way to prioritize and make things work with his schedule that he's made it all happen, guys.
That is a busy young man. He'll play fake it and throw on the run. What a pass. Dowler with the catch inside the 5. Taco Dowler. He's been a weapon early in this game. That one 28 yards.
Well, that's just great recognition and accuracy by Tommy Mellott. He has an option to keep the football and run for it. But Taco Dowler slips into the 2nd level. Once again, if you do not get hands on Taco Dowler at the line of scrimmage, he is going to make you pay. He's elusive. He has phenomenal speed. He's an honorable mention All-American when it comes to an all-purpose player at the FCS level. Great throw and catch by the Cats.
Taco's already got 3 catches, 83 yards, has that touchdown. It's 1st and goal Bobcats from right around the 5. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. They get it snapped. Mellott, play fake. He's going to throw over the top and knocked away, incomplete. Intended for the tight end Ryan Lonergan. JoJo Gaines. Good defense there. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that was really great coverage by Gaines. The tight end Lonergan, he had a step on Gaines, but you're going to see a late hand get in there. Perfect timing. Great play by the Yotes. Force second and goal.
You know, it's telling us a little something, I think, about what the Bobcats feel about the South Dakota defense, that they're not just running the ball. South Dakota's making it tough on the best running team in the country to move it on the ground.
Yeah, they proved that early on. First and second down, it has not been an easy go for Montana State to run to the football, which is why they're trying to work those second level passes.
You got Jones in the backfield. Mellott fakes it. Tommy Mellott cuts. End zone touchdown. That's why they call him Touchdown Tommy. From 5 yards out to put Montana State back ahead. They got the great field position after the good special teams play, and then go 6 plays, 47 yards, and Mellott was in the middle of all of it. Add another picture to the collage. Final minute here of the first quarter, and the Bobcats back ahead 14-7.
We're going to show you how that last touchdown happened. When you're playing Tommy Mellott, the one thing you cannot do is hesitate. And watch this defensive end right here, Gaze. He doesn't know, should I take the running back? Should I play the quarterback? Just the slightest hesitation, then you get eyes on the running back. Tommy Mellott, he just needs a split second, and he will make you pay. Does it once again. He's been doing it his whole career, and Montana State up 14-7 here late in the first quarter.
You know, you hear from Stormy. We tell the stories, the pictures his mom shared with us. They call him the GOAT. And you kind of think of him as like, well, he's just this hardworking guy. He's going to outwork everybody. And that is true. But he's a special athlete. He is explosive, fast. He's got a chance to play pro football. Maybe it's as a quarterback. Maybe it's as something else, because there aren't any athletes on the field today better than that guy.
No doubt. Arguably, he's probably the fastest guy out there, which is why, as a true freshman, on his first play of his career, he lined up as the kick returner and played some snaps at wide receiver. So wherever he plays at the next level, a team is getting a great young man and an excellent football player.
Touchback for the Yotes. Their offense will come back on the field. We remind you, coming up at 8 Eastern tonight, another college football playoff matchup from Columbus, Ohio. Number 8 Ohio State, number 9 Tennessee on ABC right here, also on ESPN. Tennessee, Ohio State. The first couple days of the first year of the 12-team college football playoff at the FBS level.
Boy, and it's fun. What a start. How about that scene last night in Notre Dame Stadium? Unbelievable.
Well, South Dakota's offense back on the field. Charles Pierre and Tice sort of offset in the backfield with Bauman under center. They'll play fake it. And the quarterback with all kinds of time is going to check it down to Tice along the sideline. And a nice decision there. Man, Bauman was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and that's a first down, South Dakota.
Well, and Flem, you mentioned that Pierre and Tice are both in the backfield pre-snap. Because of that, Montana State, they're going to roll down their strong safety, and now you get single high coverage. Great job with the play action. South Dakota, they're trying to take a shot down the field. Great coverage by the Cats, nowhere to go. But this is what Bauman does, and this is why he's so deadly out there at the quarterback position. He doesn't force it. He checks it down, gets a fresh set of downs.
And as we've seen already, generally, getting the ball to number 5 is a good thing. They fake it to 5, throw it across the middle. The tight end in stride with the catch into Montana State territory. That's Galbraith, J.J. Galbraith, All-American tight end.
Yeah, and what a season Galbraith has had. You're going to see on the play-action fake, what it does is it creates hesitation for the Montana State linebackers, and that's all Galbraith needs to get to that second level of the defense. Great recognition by Aiden Bauman getting it to his All-American tight end.
Could be the final play. That one was of quarter number 1. So the number 1 seed, undefeated Montana State. It's not going to be easy for them. As great as they are, South Dakota has come to play, and they're moving the ball. So we got a 7-point game at the end of the first quarter. After this message, we'll be back from a word from our ABC stations. All right, back here in Bozeman just moments ago, Stormy was with Bob Nielsen, the South Dakota head coach. Asked him about trying to defend Tommy Mellott.
What have you seen from your defense trying to defend Tommy Mellott today?
Well, he's a good player. You know, we've got to make sure we account for him in the run game. He's made a couple of good throws. You've got to get our eyes in the right spot. We'll be better here as the game goes on.
What kind of response are you hoping to see from your offense?
Good response, first drive. We've got to keep moving the football. As part of what we've got to do is we got to control the football ourselves.
Thank you.
Old school Bob with the tie. Always wears the tie as the head coach. Handoff and a huge hole out into the open. That's Pierre down the sideline. Touchdown. 45 yards on the first play of the second quarter. They had a 55-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. That was Tice, this time Charles Pierre Jr.
What an answer by South Dakota. Unbelievable. Pierre Jr., this is what we said in the open. If he gets out in the open field, if he gets any space in that front, but you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line, he's going to be gone. And he shows his speed, his elusiveness. We mentioned, how was South Dakota State going to handle this environment? I'd say they're handling it with flying colors right now.
I would say. Rylan Ort was the one guy who kind of had a chance there, and Pierre just too fast broke the tackle, and he was gone. Extra point up and good to tie this game.
Yeah, wow. Just such an impressive job by the offensive line, and really right guard number 59. You're going to see him work up to the second level. That's Adrian Hawkins. He's the guy that really gets Pierre open. And like you said, Flem, Rylan Ort, he was there to make the tackle, and he's been a sure-handed guy to get people to the ground this year. Over 70 tackles from that safety position on the season. But Pierre makes a miss. We have a ball game here in Bozeman.
No kidding. I mean, South Dakota is moving the ball. They've got 170 total yards, and they've thrown the ball effectively, but they're already over 100 yards rushing. They've managed to slow Montana State's run game down, relatively speaking. And if you thought coming in, these championship kind of games, this is a semifinal game spot and the FCS championship on the line. If you sort of believe, hey, these games come down to play at the line of scrimmage, right now, I think South Dakota's winning that battle.
Absolutely, and we said that in the open. Whoever wins the line of scrimmage between the offense and defensive line, that's going to be the team that has the upper hand. Right now, South Dakota completely in control of the front, and they're here to play.
Ontario Latin Henley will return this kickoff, and he'll get to the 25, knocked ahead at the 26-yard line. I mean, they are an upstart program, South Dakota. They've never played in the FCS semifinals before this year. First time in program history. Co-champions of the Missouri Valley, that ultra-tough conference with North Dakota State, South Dakota State. They beat NDSU on November 23rd. First win against a #1 ranked team in more than a decade. Huge win. They got them a share of that conference championship. And now they're one win away from meeting the Bison again for the FCS title. It's just been an historic year for the Yotes.
Yeah, Bob Nielsen and his entire staff, they've just done a phenomenal job building this program over the last 9 years.
Jones gets knocked out of bounds. Adam Jones with a nice gain on first down. Dennis Shorter knocked him out. 6 yards on first for the Bobcats.
You know, we talked with Bob Nielsen this week, and he said, you know, yes, it has been a process over the last 9 seasons. I feel like we've played great defense the last couple of years, but we needed to get more explosive on offense. He went out and got offensive coordinator Josh Davis, and that's exactly what the Yotes are. They are very explosive.
2nd down and 4. That's Taco Dowler who goes in motion. Mellott fakes it. And Mellott throws on the run. Nice delivery there. Pass complete to Lanyata Alexander Jr. for a Montana State first down.
Yeah, that's a really good job of Mellott. Just taking what the defense gives him, taking the one-on-one outside with Alexander. Alexander doing a great job on the deep comeback. He's selling the go ball. And he sits down on his route, comes back to his quarterback. Great throw and a catch to get a fresh set of down for the Cats.
And Mellott slinging it around so far in this first half. Tie game. Handoff Jones picking his way forward. Just not a lot of room. 3-yard rush on first down. That was Blake Holden that time who led the way.
Yeah, and Holden's doing a good job, and that's a battle that we're going to watch all day inside. Big number 61 for South Dakota. Watch the double team he gets. He does a good job fighting through it, but you also need to give the Cats some credit. They get the initial movement, but then Holden fights through it, and that's going to be the game within the game. Who wins in the trenches today? Right now, it's very physical down there.
2nd and 7, nearing midfield. Mellott rolls left, quick hitter, and a nice delivery to McCullough again, who goes out of bounds, I think, about a yard short of a first down. So he didn't quite get there. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and that's Shahid Barros, number 4 in coverage on McCullough. He's just playing so soft out there to the field. Mellott does a great job of recognizing that, and on the rollout, he's just going to take what the defense gives him. If you're going to give him that much space, that's a throw he's going to take all day.
I mean, it's probably 4 down territory, but I think this is a good test, Brock, early still in this game. It's 3rd and 1. For most of this season, this has not been an issue at all for Montana State.
And Montana State, they have a choice to make. I do agree. I think it's 4 down territory. So do you take a shot here and try to catch South Dakota off guard, or do you just pick up the first down on the ground?
You got Jones in the backfield. He'll get the carry, and Jones gets the first down.
Adam Jones, just a phenomenal season. The Big Sky Conference Freshman of the Year. He's a freshman out of Sentinel High School in Missoula, Montana. He's a physical runner, 6'1", 200 pounds. I tell you what, he's been a lot of fun studying this week. He puts his foot in the ground, he gets downhill, he plays with great pad level, and you see the year that he had, over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Another in-state kid from Missoula. They have so many Montanans on this roster. It's a huge, huge point of pride. They got 47 in-state kids playing for the #1 ranked team. Mellott, and tipped up, almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. Trying to hit his receiver across the middle, incomplete.
Yeah, that's the tight end, Rohan Jones, 6'3", 235 pounds, finally back in the lineup. He's missed the previous 2 games due to injury, and he's a big target, but that football just a little bit too far out in front of Jones. Tommy Mellott, lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
And Gaines was there. He came close to a great interception. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Scott Trey Humphrey back in the backfield now. Humphrey gets the carry, straight ahead run. Humphrey down inside the 35, and you can see the head coach, man. I think he's a little agitated at the end of that run. He was pumping his fist. He wants to see that physical play.
Keep an eye on left guard Mistel here. Watch what he does when this football snap goes to work on the double team, getting up to the 2nd level. Just a phenomenal job by that Montana State offensive line to make this a 3rd and short.
Now, that was pretty fiery from a fairly even-keeled head coach, Brent Vigen. I think he's noticing what we have. They're not winning that battle up front on a lot of these plays, and they're not used to that. 3rd and 2. Mellott faked it. Tommy Mellott takes a hit and gets the first down. Hops up, no problem. 1st and 10 Bobcats.
Well, and it's just a double-edged sword for South Dakota. What do? Do you play the quarterback? Do you play the running back? You also have a tight end slicing out of there, pulling a defender you see with number 8. There's just so much eye candy and motion and things like that that this offense presents under Tyler Walker. It's so difficult to defend. And there you go, a Montana State getting another first down.
On the move here after South Dakota tied the game up. There's the numbers averaging. That's an amazing number. 307 yards rushing per game. A team that also throws it. It's not like they're an option team. Adam Jones bounces it. Breaking tackles left side inside the 20. Jones with a first down.
That's a great job by Jones. Because once again, defensive tackle inside, Blake Holden. He's making his presence felt. You're going to see him beat a double team here, and he's ready to make a tackle in the backfield. Jones makes a miss, gets to the perimeter. The rest is history, and this is what Jones can do. Like I said, he's big, he's strong, he's a physical runner. He's tough to bring down. It's a great job by the Bobcats getting a fresh set of downs.
Has a chance to have a great career. He's got 3 more years with Montana State after a terrific freshman year. He's on the sideline. Got up a little slowly after that tackle. Humphrey back in there. Humphrey with the carry. Maybe ran into his own guy on first down. Marquise Grace, though, Mikey's Grace, he's playing a good first half.
Grace and Holden. You know, we just keep saying the same names up front for South Dakota. And that's what they do. Holden, he's the leader of the unit. He recognizes formations and fronts, and he gets the defense lined up for the Yotes. And there's Mikese Grace, big number 90 and 61, playing really well early on in this football game.
Back here in the red zone, Montana State, including Mellott's rush from earlier in this game, 38 red zone rushing touchdowns this year. That's a lot. Jones back in, and they'll fake it to him. Mellott looking end zone. Mellott now going to scramble. Mellott, penalty flag. He leaps and hits the turf at about the 2. Wow, he tried to go Superman, came up short. There is a penalty flag in the secondary. If the play stands, it's 1st and goal. And Montana State believes it's against South Dakota.
What an effort by Mellott.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? You don't think he wants this game? Get his team back to the national title?
Hold. Number 4, defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the play, and an automatic 1st down.
So the penalty against the Coyotes means it's 1st and goal from about the 1.
Yeah, and that's on Shahid Barros, number 4. The Cats, they've been going at him early and often.
This is the effort you were talking about.
Yeah, just unbelievable. Nowhere to go with the ball down the field. Does the next best thing. Tucks it and run. Doesn't force the football anywhere. And how about that going up and over?
Handoff. Humphrey. Touchdown. 12th play of the drive. And another rushing touchdown for the Bobcats. Back ahead.
Starting to look like we're in for a bit of a shootout, Flem.
I believe points are going to need to be scored.
Wow. Both these offenses here to play. You see the battle on the interior between the offense and defensive line. This is just a good old-fashioned physical football game here in Bozeman, Montana.
Yeah, maybe part of it is, I mean, it's late December in the Rocky Mountains, and it's 50 degrees.
Beautiful day.
It couldn't be nicer out there. Good conditions for offense and for Tommy Mellott to show off his skill set. Man.
Well, he's going to do everything within his power to get his team back to the national title game. Trying to go up and over. And then one play later, you hand it to Scottre Humphrey. He pounds it in behind the big offensive line. We're 21-14 here in Bozeman.
Well, Montana State's had a harder time than usual running the ball until that last drive. 54 yards of their 74 on the drive. Back in the end zone and back in front. The number 1 seed, undefeated Montana State, with a 21-14 lead over South Dakota. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni. It's great to be in Bozeman.
It certainly is. What a beautiful day for football. 2 great football teams, sold out stadium, just under 20,000. Just an incredible environment for this semifinal.
Kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. And now our favorite thing to do, right back to a commercial break. We'll be back right after this. Well, when you come to the state of Montana, I mean, you got to know there's going to be some rodeo, right?
No doubt about it. And Montana State, look at this, 9-time rodeo national champions here out of Bozeman.
I love it. I could watch that all day long.
Now, you said you were going to do some bull riding while you were up here. Did you hop on one yesterday?
Yeah, we just ran out of time. We were too busy. Otherwise, yeah. And then, of course, they're a part of the football program, right? They run the team on the field for all the home games. We saw it before this semifinal game. You got the corral over there. Just a big part of the scene. And they love their Bobcats football. 21-14, South Dakota. They've been impressive on offense, getting the ball back. Travis Tice jumps right over one would-be tackler and gets out to the 30. Let's go down to Stormy.
Yeah, and this South Dakota running back room has been very vocally confident on the sideline too, guys, saying don't build Montana State up in your head. They're not all that. Said our run game can do this all day. So we'll see if they continue and that confidence carries over to the field more.
Well, Stormy, I'd say the Yotes are off to a phenomenal start. Already 115 yards on the ground. We're not even close to halftime. Got to give a lot of credit, though, to that offensive line for South Dakota.
Yeah, the total yards, the 2 explosive runs, big-time runs. 2nd and 4. Jones-Logan went in motion. They'll dump it short to a tight end who gets to the corner. He tries to pull a Tommy Mellott and leap over a Bobcat, and he gets the South Dakota first down.
Yeah, that's J.J. Galbraith, the All-American tight end. It's a tight end delay screen. You're going to see him right here on the left side of your screen. Great job by Aiden Bauman selling the speed sweep. You get the defense to flow to the field, and then you come backside with the tight end screen. It's a great play call by Josh Davis.
Yeah, Galbraith is a good player. They have a lot of them. Pierre, Tice, Bauman, Galbraith, Carter Bell, the wide receiver. A lot of weapons for the Coyotes. Don't call them the Coyotes. Play fake. Bauman is going to be hit. Wow, he never saw Kenneth Iden, who just smoked Bauman. Kind of a miracle that Aiden Bauman held onto the ball.
Well, if Kenneth Iden does not get there for Montana State, I think South Dakota had a touchdown. Look at the left side of your screen. Watch the defensive end work. The junior out of Bozeman High School does a phenomenal job beating the left tackle. But if that doesn't happen, Karan Adams at the top of your screen is wide open down the field for a potential big play. It's a great job by the defensive front of Montana State and Kenneth Iden.
Could have been a touchdown. Instead, it was a loss of 7. And now a penalty flag thrown. Doesn't take much to get this crowd revved up.
A little head start by the right guard.
Ball start, number 59. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
It's Adrian Hawkins. It's the second false start here for this offensive line for the Yotes today. This crowd here in Bozeman, they are certainly having an effect on this football game. They know what's at stake, and they want another trip to Frisco, Texas.
2nd and 22. That's the 4th penalty you saw against South Dakota. Montana State has not yet committed a penalty.
This is where Bauman needs to be smart with the football.
Play fake to Tice. He's going to throw it short to Tice. And Tice will get across the 30. Upended at about the 34. So we got 5 or 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was a good decision by Bauman. Nowhere to go with the football downfield. Don't force it. Don't give this crowd any more juice. It is standing room only. Nobody has sat down since this football game has kicked off. Like I said, the crowd's presence is being felt. Here's a 3rd and extra long. This is a moment where you need to be smart. It's early in the football game. Be willing to play the field position game early.
Trying to get the play snap. They did. Bauman will throw incomplete. The pressure was coming again. Really, for the first time in this game, Brock, that defensive line for Montana State started to get some heat on the quarterback.
Yeah, they really did that drive, and I think they're settling in. You know, these are 2 uncommon opponents. They haven't played each other this year. So now you're starting to feel out one another. You get a sense for how the guy across from you wants to play. And Brody Grebe and Kenneth Iden, they're really starting to make their presence felt for the Bobcats.
So with 5 minutes to go in the first half, Montana State is going to get the ball back. And Dowler, the dangerous punt return man, this time fair catch signal at about the 25. That's where the Bobcats will have the ball. 5:11 to go until halftime here in Bozeman. Well, the 47th annual FCS championship game, Monday, January 6th, 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Plus. Kind of cool to have it in that Monday night football time slot. The winner of this game will face number 2 North Dakota State from Toyota Stadium in Frisco. Our crew will be there.
I was going to say, we'll be there. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. FCS national title. This is the football I grew up watching, so it's very special to be part of it.
47 years of this FCS playoff format. What took the FBS so long? Tommy Mellott carry on first down. Gets shoved out of bounds after a gain of 4. Now, these 4 seeds, top seeds, North Dakota State beats South Dakota State, looking for a three-peat. That won't happen. The Bison, 9 FCS championships, the most all time. They'll be going for their 10th on January 6th. Montana State hasn't won one in 40 years.
No.
They're anxious.
Oh, they certainly are, to say the least. It would mean everything to this community, this program. But the FCS national title, it's really gone through South Dakota State and North Dakota State in recent years. Montana State and South Dakota trying to put their fingerprints on it.
Second down, play fake. Mellott is going to throw, and a nice pass and a good catch. Ty McCullough went down to the turf to get it. First down, Bobcats.
That was a great job by Tommy Mellott. I love he gets outside the pocket and he does a little pump fake, and that pump fake gets the defensive back to bite on the underneath receiver. He comes up, and then Tommy Mellott throws it right over his head. He's really in command early. You're going to see the pump fake. Great job. Gets the defender to bite. Allows Dowler to the second level.
He really throws well moving forward. A lot of quarterbacks, that's hard to do. And it's really hard to defend.
You're right, Flem. He's extremely accurate on the run.
He's going to throw back the other direction. The pass was knocked down. Wow, that was Grace again, who's playing a heck of a half.
You know, Grace had a kind of a quiet game last week in the quarterfinals versus UC Davis. Davis did a great job. They got 4 hands on him at the line of scrimmage. They were chipping him with tight ends and backs. But today, Grace is making his presence felt, and he's been making plays early on. Great job on the tip pass with Montana State trying to set up a screen.
Big numbers. 9.5 sacks, 18 TFLs. Top 15 in the FCS in both those. Part of the reason why he won that Defensive Player of the Year award.
And just a sophomore.
Clock stopped. 3:45 to go until halftime. And a handoff. Jones, right side run. Jones got hit hard. Leans ahead across the 45 to the 46. And this will be a big play coming up. Third down and medium. Bobcats have ideas, I'm sure, about taking this all the way to halftime. South Dakota could get a stop and get the ball back.
Well, and that's huge, because don't forget, South Dakota gets the opening kick in the third quarter. So this is pivotal. Montana State, they want to finish the half with the football in their hands, getting points.
It's a big play. Empty backfield for Mellott. Back to pass. Now going to try to run. Mellott so fast, and it's just, how do you stop that?
Unbelievable. You don't. And it's just so deceiving. If you don't take the proper angle on Tommy Mellott, he's going to make you pay, and that's exactly what happened there. South Dakota had pretty good coverage down the field. Not really anywhere to go with the football early on in the down. Tommy Mellott does the next best thing, tucks it, picks up a fresh set of downs, and that's why he's won so many football games here.
You know, we were talking to his head coach on the field before the game, you and I, and Brent Vigen said, and when Pro Day comes around and they test Mellott, he may well run like a 4.3 something, sub 4.4 40 time. Really special speed. Under 2.5 to go until halftime. Play fake. Mellott is going to throw, and that one wide open. Taco Dowler, who tried to cut it back inside, got stopped right at the South Dakota 35, but another Montana State first down.
That was a really good job by Tommy Mellott, reading it out there and finding Taco Dowler. He was trying to take a shot down the field to McCullough. You're going to see McCullough here. He clears out the corner. Corner gets out of there. There's only a curl flat defender. Dowler just gets right behind it for the pickup. Great job by Mellott, reading it out, not forcing the football down the field. And that play will take us to the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, Bobcats on the move again, trying to put points on the board before halftime. 2 minutes to go until half, 21-14. No kidding. And for fans of FCS football, I mean, I think there is this sentiment at the FCS level of what took you guys so long to figure out how a bigger playoff could be great for the sport. Receiver in motion on first down. Montana State, Mellott, great move. Another good one, takes a hit as he leans forward. He's taken a few big hits in this first half. That was Dennis Shorter, but a gain of 9 on first down.
He's certainly taking some big hits, but he also dishes them out. It's the speed sweep that Montana State does, and it gets the linebackers to flow. Watch these backers, how they flow with this speed sweep here, and that's what opens up the air in the front for Tommy Mellott. Offensive line does a great job getting a hat on a hat. Tommy Mellott showing his elusiveness, picking up a great gain on first down.
And it's not a coincidence, Brock, that the Bobcats are taking their time here. They do not want, no matter what happens at the end of this drive, they don't want South Dakota to have a chance. Play fake. Mellott is going to take a hit again as he throws toward the end zone. Oh, my goodness. And Mellott needed a minute before he got up. Wow.
It was a huge hit by Nick Gaze, defensive end for South Dakota. Just coming in and cleaning out Tommy Mellott. Whew, top of your screen. Mellott showing his toughness, keeping his eyes down the field, not affected by the rush.
This place got quiet.
Rightfully so. I mean, this kid means everything to this program. His legs, his arm, his leadership. Good to see him back up.
They have a lot of things on this Montana State team. They don't have a lot of experience at quarterback behind Mellott. Third down and short. Mellott is going to get to the corner and run out of bounds. First down again. Almost impossible to stop. If he needs only a couple yards, you can't catch him.
No, you can't. And it was great coverage down the field by the Yotes secondary. Nowhere to go with the ball. But once again, Mellott showing his speed. He's able to capture the edge, beat the linebacker, and pick up a fresh set of downs. Here with 1:05 on the clock, I'd expect Montana State to run the football here. You just said it a minute ago, Flem. You don't want to give South Dakota time to go get points before half when they get to receive the opening kick in the third quarter.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts. So 1st and 10 from inside the 25. Mellott is going to hand it off. Humphrey, right side. Humphrey inside the 20. And still no timeout called, so that clock will move under a minute to go. Gain of 5.
I'm a little surprised South Dakota's not burning one of those timeouts.
Yeah.
You know Montana State, they're already in scoring range. They have a field goal in their back pocket if they're smart with the football. I would try to force the Bobcats' hand a little bit and get the football back.
I mean, they're not inside the 15. They're still at the 19. They're going to motion Mellott and bring Jones into the backfield, and then they move. They didn't snap it in time. Wow, so that's this part of the field, letting the clock go down, not using your timeouts.
Ball start, number 2, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And then you commit that penalty. This is, I understand wanting to take as much time off as possible. They're putting themselves in a tough spot.
Yeah, I agree with Brent Vegan not taking a timeout for Montana State, but I would have liked to see them play with a little more tempo. Get up to the line of scrimmage, get that ball snap, because now with 31 seconds, you're kind of pressing your hand a bit to get some points before half.
Yeah, and you're almost in a spot where you think 3 instead of 7.
The penalty is qualified for a 10-second runoff.
Now,
Montana State is elected to take a timeout. First charged of the first half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Montana State looking a little unorganized there. I think Coach Vegan wants to get his team on the same page. He knows how critical this sequence is for the Bobcats.
So one spot in the championship game has already been filled. North Dakota State, a thrilling win. How about Trey Lance's brother, Bryce, with a 3-touchdown performance today, including a spectacular catch that ultimately was the game winner. So North Dakota State meets the winner of this one January 6th on ESPN at 7 Eastern. NCAA FCS Championship. We're talking about that and the timing of it and whatnot. If you want more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. It's typically been a game played in the middle of the day. It's going to be cool to have under the lights in Frisco.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. And like you said, it's going to have that Monday Night Football feel to it. We'll be down there calling the game. Really looking forward to it.
2nd and 10 for the Bobcats with only 31 seconds to go until halftime. And they'll hand it off again. Jones, Out into the open. Jones inside the 15, and now a quick timeout from Vigen. Even though the first down was going to stop the clock to set the chains, because he did get a first down, Montana State couldn't waste any more time getting organized, so they burned their second timeout.
Yeah, that was a really good decision by Brent Vigen. Keep an eye on the linebacker 33, Gabe Hardman. Great jump cut here by Jones, but Hardman 33, he needs to squeeze down on that zone read. He's given too much space for Adam Jones and Tommy Mellott there. Jones makes him pay. And here you are, 1st and 10, 26 seconds left. Ball's just inside the 15. Montana State really in control here late in the second.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely, you know, you're in field goal range, and this is where having a quarterback with so much experience, so much poise is helpful.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I'd say your full playbook in the red zone is at your disposal. You do have that timeout, like you mentioned, Flem, but with 26 seconds, you can run, you can do your screen game, or take some throws to the end zone. Montana State's in a really good spot here. Keep an eye on the slot. 14, Taco Dowler going in motion.
He's had a huge first half. Mellott play fake, rolling left. Mellott throws middle, incomplete, and there he was. That was Dowler, and he couldn't quite hold on.
Yeah, that's the matchup offensive coordinator Tyler Walker wants. He got one of his fastest playmakers on a safety, number 2, Dennis Shorter. That's a mismatch for South Dakota. If you're safety, you don't want to see Dowler down there, and here you go. It's just a basic over route off the play action. Dowler had a step on him, and I think Tommy Mellott put that football exactly where it needs to be. That's one that Dowler's going to want back tomorrow.
When he was 2 years old, he was sitting in his kitchen with his twin brother, and he told his family, "My name is Taco," and the nickname stuck. Mellott, right side run. Mellott gets dragged down inbounds, and now Montana State's got to use that final timeout. Good open field tackle by Shorter there.
Their third and final
15 seconds to go. It'll be third down.
30 seconds.
That's a really good tackle by Shorter. If he doesn't get hands on Mellott, Tommy might have taken that one the distance. And here you go with the cat and mouse game. Third down, 15 seconds. Montana State's out of timeout. So this ball, when they throw it, it needs to be in the end zone if Tommy's going to throw it. The question is, if you're South Dakota, do you bring pressure here or do you play coverage? If I'm defensive coordinator Travis Johansson, I want to speed up the clock of Tommy Mellott. I'm going to bring pressure here and force the senior quarterback into making a quick decision.
So good breakdown from Brock, who obviously as a quarterback over the years had many situations like this. You've also shed your, it's so warm here in Montana on December 21st, the jackets come off.
Jackets, pea coats, scarves, it's all gone.
Beautiful day for football, and it's maybe part of the reason why we've seen so much offense in this first half.
Yeah,
right?
Both these teams really came out the gate swinging. And I think you have to give the credit to the offensive line. They've given the quarterbacks time to operate. Running backs have made big plays for both sides. And it really looks like we're in for a great shootout today.
So 3rd and 8. You can't get tackled in the field of play. The throw on the sideline knocked away. Incomplete, intended for Alexander. And now the field goal team is coming out. And I do wonder whether the Bobcats would think, were we a little too loose with the clock there? They took away some of their options late in the half.
Yeah, potentially. You probably want to keep your foot on the gas, but at the end of the day, there was an option for a touchdown. There was a corner route from the slot at the top of the screen to the field. Mellott had a chance at a touchdown. I don't like that decision throwing short, but nevertheless, here's an opportunity for 3 more points before half.
And to the point you made a minute ago, they had the ball in the hands of their best receiver in the end zone, and he couldn't squeeze it. That would have been a touchdown. Field goal is up and good, so they take almost the entire end of the half off the clock, and they don't get 7, but they get 3. So it's not like it's a disaster. That was well executed overall by the #1 team.
Fantastic situational football by the Bobcats.
Well, tomorrow, 10 a.m., NFL Countdown Crew getting you caught up on all the news, getting you ready for the games right up to kickoff, and then on Monday Night Football in Green Bay at Lambeau. Packers and the Saints, 8 Eastern, right here on ABC, on ESPN Deportes. (24-14) with 8 seconds to go until halftime for Tommy Mellott and company. Not easy early in the half. They got some plays in the pass game. I think one of the main things for Montana State is they did, as the half went on, they got the run game going.
Yeah, certainly. In the second quarter, they really took control of the football game. And look at the time of possession. 20 minutes compared to a little over 9. You said it, Flem. That you know, second quarter and tail end of the first quarter, Montana State, that offensive line, they really took things over. And that's the ball control that they want to play with.
I'm assuming that South Dakota is just going to take a knee here after the touchback and go into the locker room. There are positives for the Coyotes with the way they played in the first half.
Oh, tons of positives, lots of things to build upon. The question is, both these teams are going to go into the locker room. Who makes adjustments to slow down the other team's run game and force these quarterbacks to beat you?
So there's the knee, and the final seconds will tick off the clock. Number 1, undefeated Montana State. Now just 30 minutes away from a chance to play for an FCS championship. It's 24-14. That's our halftime score. Tommy Mellott, no surprise, played brilliantly. A touchdown throwing, a touchdown running for touchdown Tommy. He and the Bobcats lead. We'll get you to the studio after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching the FCS semifinals on a beautiful December day in Bozeman, Montana. 30 minutes to go. The last spot in the FCS championship game is on the line. The winner meets North Dakota State in Frisco, Texas. And our scores, we start the third quarter. 24-14 Montana State over South Dakota. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni back with you. We said it a couple times during that first half, Brock. Man, the offenses really dominated the first 30 minutes of play.
Yeah, no question. And it really started from the jump. Both teams in the first series, Montana State goes right down the field, touchdown. South Dakota answers. They're going blow for blow. But then as the first half went along, Montana State really took control. And here's that touchdown pass I was just talking about on the first series of the game. Tommy Mellott to Taco Dowler. Great execution, throw and catch, and then comes right back, does what he's done all year. He makes guys miss in the hole, and then he gets out in space and takes it the distance. It was all tied up at 7. And then, like I said, as the first half went along, Montana State really started to take control. And look at the play difference. South Dakota 17 plays in the first half compared to 44 for Montana State. It'll be interesting to see how South Dakota counters that.
Yeah, Coyotes get the ball here to start the second half. Let's go down to Stormy.
South Dakota has been a second-half team all season. They've been a second-half team all season long. And when I asked Bob Nielsen if that's something that gives them a little bit of confidence, he said, that's exactly what I said to the team. We've been here before. We know how to come back in these games. And it's going to start with being better on third down defensively and offensively, understanding that every possession is going to matter. To Brock's point, also spoke to Montana State head coach Brent Began, who said Tommy's speed and toughness is what's driving them. And it's been effective so far. He likes the way his offensive line settled in the first half. He needs his D-line to follow suit, so they can't allow any more of these big pop runs.
Good stuff, Stormy. Thanks. First play of the second half, a little jet sweep and a big hit. Jones Logan got dropped after a gain of a yard. I mean, I want to go back to the number we showed, and you emphasized it, and Stormy talked about it. South Dakota ran 17 offensive plays in the first half.
Yeah, and really when they did have the ball, they did some good things, but Montana State, they just did such a good job with ball control, and it really came down to Tommy Mellott extending drives on third down with his legs and keeping the football away from the Coyotes.
I mean, they had the 2 big plays. South Dakota ran 1 play in Bobcats territory. A little pitch play to Tice. Kind of nifty in a lot of traffic, and Tice picks his way across the 30 to set up third and short.
Well, what a critical third down this is for the Coyotes.
Seriously.
They have to find a way to convert here, because the way the Montana State offense is playing right now, you can't afford to go 3 and out here to start the third quarter. If I'm South Dakota, I'm finding number 14, Carter Bell. He's been the go-to guy on third down all season long. He's excellent when it comes to option routes. He needs to come up big for the Coyotes here.
He had the nice catch early in the first quarter, and that was his only touch in the first half. Bauman in the pocket, throws, and incomplete. Trying to hit Carter Bell, and just a little bit too high because he was open.
Yeah, Carter Bell, not the biggest target at 5'11", ran an excellent route for South Dakota. Aiden Bauman, he's known to be a very accurate quarterback, 68% on the year, just a bit high for Bell. And that's not how the Coyotes wanted to start.
You can just see it with Bob Nielsen. He knows that was about the worst case scenario, 3 and out. And after Montana State just dominated time of possession, especially in the second quarter, Bobcats are going to get the ball right away at the start of the third. Dowler, booming punt, takes it back near the 10, cuts it upfield, and gets outside to the 20. Potentially some big news on the South Dakota sideline. Let's go down to Stormy.
Yeah, Travis Tice, who's been so important to the South Dakota offense, immediately came off the field and headed straight back to the locker room. So will be significant. We'll keep an eye on if and when he comes back out here, guys.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he got that little pitch play. And there wasn't anything unusual about the way the play ended, but see him kind of holding that right arm, shoulder, maybe. Ew.
Yeah, for South Dakota, you hope he's able to get back in the ball game because this team is better when he's on the field. He's a big reason why this offense scored 37 points per game this season.
You got Humphrey, the tailback, behind Tommy Mellott. Hand off Humphrey, right side. Scott Trey got tackled in the open field by the cornerback, Mike Reed.
Yeah, that was a great job by Reed. It was a corner blitz. Right at the snap, he just triggered into the backfield. Receiver wasn't able to get a hand on him. But even with that, Humphrey, this is what he's done all year. That probably should have been a gain for nothing. If anything, maybe even a loss. Instead, he finds a way to get 4 yards and make it second and manageable.
He and Adam Jones really sharing touches and carries in this game. And Adam Jones had a lot of good runs in the first half. The freshman back on the field here for 2nd and 6. Mellott in the pocket looking to throw. Now will run. Mellott gets away to the corner. There he goes. Tommy Mellott with that speed. Wow. Outside the 45 all the way to midfield where McKelvey finally pushed him out of bounds. A gain of 26.
Well, that is just so difficult to defend. There's nothing you can do for the quarterback run. You get zone dropping linebackers by South Dakota. They vacate the box. Mellott recognizes that. And so he tucks the football and he's going to make you pay. You have to keep eyes on Tommy Mellott. Otherwise, that is exactly what he will do for you.
You know, there were a lot of times this year, Brock, you see those rushing numbers where he was conservative running the ball. 14 carries already in this semifinal game here this afternoon. Handoff Jones, and he, like Humphrey, not a whole lot there, dives forward and gets 6 yards on first down.
Well, listen, you don't run for over 300 yards per game if you're not dialed into your run schemes. And like I said earlier in the open, you really saw this Montana State offensive line, the backs, and then Tommy Mellott with his legs. They really started to take over this football game. South Dakota, they're going to have to find an answer. Blake Holden, number 61, he played big early in the first quarter. You're going to need to see more of him if you're a Coyotes fan.
Jones stays in there alongside Mellott. 2nd and 4 into South Dakota territory. Jones, right side run. And I think with that lean at the end of the run, they're actually going to spot him maybe a foot short. But here we go again with Montana State. All those plays they ran in South Dakota territory in the first half.
Yeah, they're completely in control of the game until South Dakota finds a way to get the Bobcats off schedule on 1st and 2nd down. Montana State's just going to continue to control this. This is how they want to play. They don't want to be up tempo. They want to run the football, control the time of possession, and they're doing a phenomenal job of that.
So 3rd and less than a yard. I would think, unless a disaster here, 4-down territory for the Bobcats. Humphrey in the backfield, bad snap. Mellott picks it up off the bounce and got the first down. Stays on his feet. Tommy Mellott. Oh my goodness. Just pure individual effort and talent and all of it. That was incredible. 41 yards from disaster to touchdown. That's why he's one of the all-time greats.
And that's why he's touchdown Tommy. For so many quarterbacks, that would have been a terrible play. You dive on the ball, it's a loss. For Tommy Mellott, no sir. He's going to pick up that football. He's going to make one miss. He's going to take it the distance. And Montana State, 31-14, completely in control of this FCS semifinal here in Bozeman, Montana, led by Tommy Mellott.
He's played a lot of games on this field in his career. He's had a lot of great plays, not many quite like that. My goodness. You want to know why Tommy Mellott is the best player in FCS football? This is a pretty good example of why he is.
It's plays like this. You can't coach these things, right? Ball bounces on the ground. Sure, he gets a little luck. It bounces right back to him. But then he makes something out of nothing. It's just incredible.
I mean, you pick the ball up. You have the presence of mind to see the hole. You hit the hole with your 4.3 speed. You get knocked off balance. You leap over a would-be tackler. You stay on balance, and then you sprint to the end zone. That is special stuff. I mean, you hear stuff about this kid from everybody. Coaches, one of his coaches says, Tyler Housewright, he has a 4.0 in engineering, 6% body fat, 39-inch vert, is 210 pounds. Smartest QB I've ever been around, 4.3 40, smartest human alive, will be president of the United States. Every father wants their daughter to date him. Every mother wants to adopt him.
Mr. America. What else can you say? I mean, I think that summarizes him perfectly. He's just, he's been unstoppable the last 3.5 seasons. What he's put together to lead Montana State to 14-0 at this point, just sensational.
A gotta have it kind of drive, and it's good to see Tice back on the field for South Dakota. They're in trouble here now, down 31-14, a gain of 6 on first down. You and I are going to be there on January 6th for the championship game. Now, there's a long way to go here. This game is not over. South Dakota's been a good second-half team. They can come from behind. If they don't, and if Montana State is in that championship game, we're going to spend the next couple weeks looking for some dirt on Tommy. We're going to find something negative to say about it.
I don't think it exists. We've interviewed as many people as we can throughout the state of Montana and Butte, his hometown, this week. We can't find a single bad thing about the kid.
He doesn't clean his room, something, I don't know. 2nd and 3. Tice, right side. And Tice gets stopped about a yard short. Speaking of big plays, South Dakota absolutely needs to keep this drive going.
Well, you're right. It's a gotta-have-it situation here for the Coyotes, and you can see and hear this crowd getting involved. They know that they have an opportunity here midway through the third to create the knockout punch. If they're able to get off the field here, get the ball back to Montana State, and I think Bob Nielsen knows that as well.
And they've only had 3 third downs all game. They haven't converted a single one of them. 3rd and a yard, handoff, Tice, and Tice is going to get it, and almost broke out into the open again. Good tackle by Neil Daly to make sure, but it is a much-needed Coyotes first down.
Well, that was a really good job by the offensive line. I want you to see here Joe Cotton, 71, how he gets this play started at the point of attack. You see 46, Hayden Erickson doing a phenomenal job getting Tice to the second level and picking up a fresh set of downs when the Coyotes absolutely needed it.
You talked about the size of their line. I mean, that guy, Joe Cotton, 6'7", 315. Big dude who can move. Bauman, play fake, gonna throw. That's his #1 target at the receiver spot. Carter Bell into Montana State territory for a rare moment in this game. Another first down.
You know, and I would like to see the Yotes do more of this. Bauman does a tremendous job recognizing the one-on-one matchup up top. The Bobcats playing a bit soft with John Johnson up there. And Aiden Bauman, he's just going to take it. If the Cats are going to give it, and Bauman's somebody, I think you can put this game in his hands. If the Cats are going to load the box to stop the run, let Aiden Bauman start airing it out downfield a bit.
Charles Pierre enters the game at tailback. Has hardly touched it in this game. One of his rare touches, he had a long touchdown run. He's going to catch it out of the backfield. No. He's going to have it go right through his hands. Incomplete.
It was really good up front by Hunter Parsons, defensive end for the Bobcats. Getting in there early, forcing the quarterback to make a quick decision. Secondary did a phenomenal job down the field, covering up all the all of Bauman's targets, nowhere to go with the football, forcing a 2nd and long.
Again, just to the lopsided nature of how this game has played out, not necessarily on the scoreboard, but how it's played out. This will be the 3rd snap on this side of the field for South Dakota's offense. 3rd play in Montana State territory all game. Play fake. And a throw across the middle. Wow, almost intercepted. I thought it hit the turf. Drew Polidor was trying to sell it as an interception. Man, there was a hold that wasn't called in the backfield. It was just blatant. They are letting them play.
Just outside the reach of Galbraith, the All-American tight end. That's one that Bauman needs to drive and give his tight end an opportunity to get his hands on that football. You can definitely see it definitely hit the turf there. Called by the officials. But that's a throw Bauman's going to want back tomorrow.
3rd and 10, Tice back in the game. At this point on this side of the field, South Dakota's got to be thinking 2 plays to get 10 yards. Handoff, Tice, and he just gets swallowed up. They brought pressure, and Tice couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's a gutsy play call by defensive coordinator Bobby Daly, kind of a double-edged sword. He brings a blitz 0 pressure, which is an all-out pressure. Every DB is going to be on a one-on-one island, and it pays off for the Bobcats, forcing a 4th and 10 and another punt situation for South Dakota.
And look, I think they hand the ball off. I think they're thinking you get 5 yards, you go for it on 4th down. The way this game is playing out the last few minutes, I'm surprised they're punting it. I am. I know it's 4th and 10. A high end-over-end punt is going to bounce inside the 5 and is going to bounce into the end zone. So that was a chance for the special teams of South Dakota, and they just couldn't execute. So Montana State will get the ball back at the 20 when we come back. It is such a beautiful place to be. Big Sky Country, the Treasure State. Look at the scene in Bozeman, Montana. Just one of the most beautiful parts of the country. People around here are so proud. There's such a state identity, including my partner, Brock Osweiler, Flathead High School up in Kalispell. What's that, about a 6-hour drive from here where we are?
It is 6 hours northwest, another beautiful part of this great state.
And you still run camps here in Montana in the summertime for all the young kids who love this sport in this state. This whole year I should have been calling you Hall of Famer, inducted in the Montana Football Hall of Fame in 20. Let me just belatedly congratulate you on your Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you.
Being all seriousness, being from this place is a big part of who you are.
It certainly is. Growing up in the great state of Montana, it just teaches you values and characteristics that are second to none. Work ethic, hard work, and to be able to come back to this state that I call home and call this game is extremely special.
The closest high school road trip that you would take was
it's about 2.5 hours down to Missoula.
That was the closest rival.
Closest, yes.
You would drive sometimes each way, what? Well, 7-8 hours to go play a game?
We would play Bozeman High School, and that's 6 hours one way. We'd go to Billings, play those 3 schools. That's 8 hours. But in Montana, that's just a drive. It's just an afternoon drive in this beautiful state.
And everybody, the parents, the supporters would all either get in their own bus or get in their trucks.
It's a very special place to grow up. Community matters, your neighbors matter, and I'm very proud to call it home.
A couple good defensive plays by South Dakota. Humphrey stopped for no gain to set up 3rd down. And it is why it's such a huge part of the identity of this Bobcats program to have 47 in-state kids on this roster.
Yeah, and it means a lot. You know, these kids bring a lot to the program. They're the foundation of this Montana State Bobcats program here. When you grow up in Montana, this is who you want to play for. You want to play for the 2 state schools here, and it means a lot to you. It's a badge of honor. You're very proud to represent this school, and this class has just done a phenomenal job setting a school record for wins.
3rd and 8. After they forced a punt, here comes the pressure. Mellott going backwards, and he gets rid of the ball, but did take another hit. The clock stops, incomplete, and South Dakota, really nice series there, gets a stop.
Yeah, I really like what defensive coordinator Travis Johansson does here. He lines up a defensive end over the center, which is going to be a mismatch. This is Nick Gaze on the inside. And watch him go to work. He's a former defensive tackle, but he moved outside this season.
Offense. Penalty is placed as bottom of the foul. Lost it down.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Yeah, the point you make, you can continue to make that point. They did call intentional grounding on Mellott, so essentially it was a sack.
Yeah, and this is exactly what the Coyotes needed. You know, there's still a lot of time. There's a quarter and a half. We're about to get great field position. Now it's time for South Dakota to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah, that was big. Now the biggest punter in football, I think. I'm going with that unofficially. But Brendan Hall is 6'9", 235. 6'9". Not a great punt this time. Fair catch inside the 50, though. 42-yard punt, no return. And the Yotes basically get the ball back right where they finished their last drive, trailing 31-14. All right, coming up at 8 Eastern, we cap off the first round of the 12-team college football playoff. Number 8 Ohio State hosting number 9 Tennessee. By seeding, this should be the tightest, most competitive of these first round games. 8 Eastern right here on ABC, also on ESPN. We got the Altcasts. I'm very interested to see Ohio State back at home. You almost feel like it would have been an advantage for them not having to play at home the way the last home game went. We'll see. Play fake for Bauman on the first play of the drive. Over the top and knocked away. Beautiful play on the ball there by Rylan Ort, because that's Galbraith, the excellent All-American tight end.
That was a beautiful pass defended by Rylan Ort, the senior out of Missoula, Montana. Tight end had a step on him. Ort does a great job at getting back in phase, and just at the last second as Galbraith's about to bring in that football, he gets a hand in there for the pass breakup. Great play by the Bobcats.
All the stuff we were saying about kids in Montana wanting to play for these programs, Rylan Ort's sort of the epitome of that. Started as a walk-on, has been a 3-year starter. Will have a big piece of Montana State history when his career's done. Penalty thrown as the ball got snapped. Bauman finds Bell wide open on the sideline for a first down and much more. Somehow they lost Carter Bell, gain of 23. And I'm thinking that's against the Bobcats, so that play's going to stand.
Offside, number 11, defense. Penalties declined. Result of the play is the first down.
Yeah, that's defensive end Kenneth Iden. He was at the bottom of your screen. Tell his helmet was just crossing the football. Great job by Bauman, staying alive in the pocket, getting outside, keeping his eyes down the field, remaining a passer, finding some positive yards and getting the ball into the red zone.
I tell you what, the Coyotes on the move again. I mean, for the most part in this game, they just have run so few plays. They've had the ball for such little time, but they've been effective offensively. And if they can get one in the end zone here, this is very much still a game. Bauman, play fake, another flag thrown over the top, and kind of a floater knocked down, incomplete. Polidor was the one who got his hands on it, but another penalty.
I think this is going to be a legal formation on the Coyotes.
They looked a little disorganized to me.
Good. Offense. Repeat first down.
Only 6 guys on the line of scrimmage for South Dakota. And Flem, you said it, there was a little bit of chaos. There's only 1 wide receiver and the 5 offensive linemen. So they're short 1. You have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage.
And Carter Bell knew it. He was looking around like, we need somebody else up here, but yeah. 1st and 15. Tice in the backfield. They fake it to him. Bauman's going to go over the top again, and incomplete. There was a little hand fighting there intended for Bell. For the most part, I know we've seen some of these procedure type penalties, but for the most part, they are letting them play.
Yeah, they are. And I also think you have to give a lot of credit to the players. For the most part, it's been a clean game. You see Bob Nielsen. He thinks that might have been defensive pass interference there, and there was some contact down the field. I think there probably should have been a flag called on that one. I think Montana State and John Johnson got away with one.
Bauman sure thought so. And I don't disagree. 2nd and 15. Back to throw again. And there's Brody Grebe. Right in the face of Aiden Bauman for the sack.
The Millstone Cowboy making his presence felt. Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year. Watch him work off the edge. Wins with speed and power to force here a 3rd and extra long. In this stadium here, Bobcat Stadium's about to be roughed.
Yeah. Here comes a pressure again, but Tice wide open on the dump down. Tice stays on his feet. The ball comes out. Montana State the other way. Miles Jackson down the sideline, cuts it in. Touchdown. I mean, I guess there's a Tice was fighting so hard for the extra yards. Was he down before the ball came out?
It's close. Keep an eye on his elbow as Tice goes to the ground. What an unbelievable effort by Miles Jackson to force this ball out.
Scored for a touchdown.
I think he's down.
It's close because you see the ball move ever so slightly right before he gets to the ground, and he has to have firm possession of that ball when his elbow hits.
That's a good point. Good counterpoint. I mean, just tremendous effort by Travis Tice.
Now, I think the thing to remember here, the initial ruling is a fumble. So unless there's indisputable video evidence to overturn this and rule him down, anything in question, this is going to remain a touchdown for the Bobcats.
And they are looking at this on replay.
I mean, in so many ways, this is going to decide the game. You know, whether it's a touchdown for Montana State or if Tice is ruled down and the Coyotes get an opportunity here on 4th down, down 17. What a critical moment in the game.
Yeah. I mean, South Dakota's chances of playing for a championship may well come down to this call. I think if it were me, I think the elbow was down. And they are sometimes when you see that official writing stuff down. The other part of this they could be looking at, if they rule it a fumble, was Miles Jackson down there?
Well, you can see his knee down on the turf as he picks up this football. That's a great catch by you, Flem.
So they are marching back in the other direction. So
after further review, the runner was down at the 28-yard line. Over 4th down for South Dakota.
So no fumble. The runner was down. I think it was a good point you made about, could you tell, was the ball starting to move before that elbow hit down? They ruled that it was not a fumble, and the field goal team's coming out.
And South Dakota has life.
I think that's a good way to put it. That it keeps their hopes in this game alive. You take the touchdown off the board, now you get a chance to put 3 up.
Well, no doubt about it. You get this field goal, you get 3 more points. You're well within this ball game, getting ready to go into the 4th quarter here at the end of the 3rd.
It's no gimme, though. From 46 yards, Will Leyland. He's had a good year.
This would be a long for the season. Previous long is 45 versus North Dakota earlier in the year.
I'm not exactly sure what we're waiting for. I guess the chains were set up incorrectly. So the head referee was trying to get the chain crew to line up properly. Now we got it. Snap and hold, kick on the way, and that one is good. Well done by Will Leyland. I mean, it's a better day to kick than it could be this time of year in Bozeman, but give Leyland credit for taking advantage of that.
A ton. What a clutch kick, getting his team down 14. That was big time.
So the defense got a nice stop. They got the ball back with good field position, and they catch it in for 3 points, down 31-17. If you are just joining us here, one spot left in the FCS championship game, which will be played on January 6th in Frisco, Texas. North Dakota State, a thrilling win today at home against South Dakota State. So the winner of this one will take on the Bison, who will look for their 10th all-time FCS championship. And Montana State, so much history, especially recent playoff heartbreak at the hands of North Dakota State. The Bobcats are hoping that it's going to be them that has a chance for a title.
That's right, Flem. This is a Montana State program trying to get over the hump. In the last 5 seasons, the Bobcats have played in the semifinal 4 times. What they haven't done is won a national title, and Brent Vigen knows that. But the senior class that the Bobcats have, a lot of people think that this is the unit that can get it done. But first, they have to get through South Dakota. And South Dakota, they are battle tested. And this is going to be a great, great finish here as we approach the 4th quarter.
Kickoff after the field goal is going to be returnable from the goal line. Outside around the 15 and pushed out of bounds by South Dakota. So Latin Henley with a short return. And in case you're also just tuning in, the star for Montana State, the best player in FCS, the quarterback for the Bobcats, Tommy Mellott.
Well, what hasn't he done today? He's thrown for 134 yards and a touchdown. He's also rushed for 121 and 2 scores. He's really put the team on his back. He's doing everything out there for his team, trying to get them into the national title. And then you're going to see on the last touchdown, it was what was going to be a broken play. He makes something out of nothing, takes it the distance, and that is why Montana State is up 31-17 here with 2:50 to go.
Ooh, high snap, and Mellott, good save there to make sure that it didn't go right over his head. Hand off to Jones for a short gain. Let's go down to Stormy.
And Dave, I talked to Tommy Mellott earlier this week about that kind of whirlwind playoff run from his freshman season, and he said at times it felt a little bit overwhelming. He was very grateful for the excitement that surrounded him and touchdown Tommy, but there's a lot of pressure and expectations that came with that. This season, he said instead of the pressure mounting again with the undefeated season and being his senior year, as he matured, he feels more prepared to take this on, and that he is enjoying every single moment, playing with as much passion as he can.
Yeah, good stuff. It shows in his performance. That pass just a little bit high, intended for Alexander. So now it's 3rd and 8. Alexander, I think, at the end of that play was a little shaken up. Yeah, that's Lanyata Alexander on the sideline.
It was really good coverage by Shaheed Barrows. Somebody that Montana State has attacked all day through the air. Great job in phase on that coverage.
Another opportunity here for South Dakota. This game's not over. Trying to get organized. Bobcats with the play clock winding down. Mellott takes a shotgun snap. They're setting up some sort of play that just had no chance of working. Pressure came in. It's incomplete. And you got to give the Coyotes defense a lot of credit. That's back-to-back stops.
Well, and there was some confusion, and you got to wonder with offensive coordinator Tyler Walker. This is right here. This is Mikese Grace. He's the Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and he's matched up on a running back in pass protection. That's Adam Jones trying to block him. That's advantage South Dakota all day long. You got to wonder if the running back was supposed to get some help from the offensive line there in pass protection.
So another punt. Wow. Now that's a booming punt. There's all 6'9". My goodness. Whoa, 59-yard punt. There's the big guy using all that leverage. That was pretty impressive.
That was a boom. Unbelievable. Flipping the field, changing the field position. It's exactly what Montana State needed. And here comes Aiden Bauman in South Dakota down 14. Can they keep the momentum rolling on offense?
Yeah, we'll see. Because they are still down a couple touchdowns, but they finally stabilized. And the big call that went in their favor that wiped a touchdown off the board. Tice in the backfield. Will try to bounce it left and cuts middle. Gosh, he's hard to tackle. He is so good. Travis Tice, the senior from Pratt, Kansas, who's been around forever and has been the leader of this program forever, is having a huge semifinal game.
Well, he means everything to this Yotes program. Watch the game of peekaboo. He plays here with the defenders from Montana State. You think he's going to bounce it outside. He goes, nope, I'm going to cut it back inside. Offensive line did a great job getting a hat on a hat to make this 2nd down and 4. Montana State has to find something on 1st and 2nd down to get this Coyotes team off schedule, because right now they're really starting to take over the game offensively.
Bauman under center, pitches it. That's Pierre. Pierre hit the hole hard, and Charles Pierre gets a South Dakota 1st down.
He's just so elusive, and he brings such great speed to the running back position. Charles Pierre, only a sophomore, but averaging over 7 yards per carry on the season. When he decides to hit the gas pedal, he can get to the 2nd level quickly.
Top 2 rushers in the Missouri Valley, both on this South Dakota team.
Well, shoot, between Pierre and Tice, over 2,000 yards on the ground and 33 touchdowns this year. So impressive.
Final 30 seconds of quarter number 3. Phillips in the backfield with Tice. Play fake. Bauman on the move. Going to throw on the run, and he finds Phillips, who makes a nice open field catch. Turned it upfield. Got tackled inbounds for a gain of 7.
Well, that's one Aiden Bauman's going to want back. He had Karan Adams. You're going to see him at the very, very bottom of your screen. Watch him pop open late. Once Bauman gets outside the pocket, he was wide open all by himself down the field for a touchdown.
Ooh, Bobcats might have gotten away with one. South Dakota, though, on the move again. We come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Montana State 15 minutes away from a berth in the championship game. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Coach Vegan, 15 minutes separates Montana State from a spot in the national title game. What do you need to see to close this out?
Well, we got to get a stop here right now. We got to be able to stop the run and not let them get another run again. We've done a good job with the passing game, and then offensively we got to stay on the field. That's as simple as that.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks to Brent Vegan. Thanks to Stormy. 15 minutes to go. 2nd and 3, South Dakota. Handoff. There's Pierre. And Pierre stopped about a yard short. By the way, you noticed it. Karan Adams was wide open on the last play of the 3rd quarter. This was while we were away. Look at Karan Adams. I mean, he was hot. He wanted to go after his quarterback.
Yeah, you're starting to see the emotions of the players. This semifinal game, they know what's at stake, right? This goes all the way back to last January when you started your off-season workouts and all the time you put in throughout the summer. There's one quarter that's going to decide who goes to the national title. Adams know he had a touchdown if Bauman would have thrown it.
Maybe not the way to handle it, but he wasn't wrong. Handoff Tice, and Tice again just powering his way through Bobcats defenders into Montana State territory. Another tough guy run and another South Dakota 1st down.
Well, he met Bryce Grebe, the younger brother of Brody, in the hole, number 10 for Montana State. Travis Tice would not be denied. He is running inspired right now. We've seen some big-time plays out of him throughout this game. And the senior that means so much to this football program, you know he wants this bad.
I mean, he's got as many total yards virtually as the rest of the team combined. 1st and 10. Play fake to Tice. Bauman over the top for his tight end. What an effort. And he caught it in bounds. Galbraith, what a catch for 21 yards.
Are you kidding me? What a catch by Galbraith. Unbelievable, showing the body control to go up, high point the football over the defender, but then have the awareness to get his foot down in bounds before he goes out. Such an impressive play.
Wow. Great catch by Galbraith. And another South Dakota 1st down. They're on the move. Only down 2 touchdowns. Pierre behind Bauman, play fake. They're going to fake a pitch, throw it back to Galbraith, who stops, turns it upfield, and gets positive yardage there. Ends up being a 6-yard gain.
It's pretty creative by offensive coordinator Josh Davis, trying to sneak the tight end out the back door. Bobcats did a good job of staying home, keep that to a minimal gain.
Montana State hasn't won a championship in 40 years. South Dakota has never won an FCS championship, trying to get to the final for the first time in their program history. 8th play of the drive for the Coyotes. Tice, and he will surge close, but I think he was stopped a yard short. This is officially their first trip into the red zone today.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, you know, and you see 17 points on the board for South Dakota, but you just said it, Flem, they haven't been able to get down into the red zone. Montana State's defense has just done such a great job of holding up, but here, what a critical opportunity here for the Coyotes to stay in this ball game.
I don't think they'll be kicking any field goals at this point. Under 12 to go. 3rd down and a yard. Tice, left side run, first down, and still going. Spins his way down to the 11. This guy's such a good player.
Unbelievable by Travis Tice. I mean, there's not a very big hole in there for him. Got to give a lot of credit to the Montana State defensive line, but he finds it and he hits it. And as soon as he sees it, he sticks his foot in the ground. He gets vertical to pick up a fresh set of downs for the Yotes, and he has truly put the team on his back this afternoon here in Bozeman.
Having a huge game. 1st and 10. Why not give it to him again? So they'll give it to Pierre instead, and Pierre, who's not quite as big as Tice, but also hard to get down. He gets inside the 10, down to the 7.
Not only does Travis Tice make great plays with his legs, he's also the lead blocker on the last play. You want to talk about an unselfish football player leading up for his teammate Charles Pierre. Just keep an eye right in the middle of your screen. Tice is in the fullback position. Just shows how unselfish he is, and he will do anything to win for the Coyotes.
That clock still rolling. 2nd and 6. And the snap was dropped. Bauman has to fall on it all the way back at the 19. Oh my goodness. Huge loss on the play at the worst possible time.
Yeah, and that's not a drop. That's not on Aiden Bauman. That's a low, poor snap by Joey Lombard, the center, number 76 there. He's a second-team All-American. He's a great player in his own right. Very uncharacteristic for Lombard.
I thought he was having, we were watching warm-ups, and I thought he was having some problems snapping the ball. I'm not sure what's going on.
Bauman needs to be very smart here. Yes, a touchdown would be great for South Dakota, but it's not a must. A field goal is okay.
Being pressured, throws short to Tice. Tice slipped as he tried to make a cut and is down at about the 15. So now let's see what Bob Nielsen wants to do. He has not decided, and I don't see the kicker coming on the field.
I don't mind the decision. I will say this. South Dakota beat North Dakota State earlier, or excuse me, not earlier. It was the last regular season game, down 11 late in the 4th. So they've been in this position before. They've had their mettle tested. I personally would probably kick the field goal here, but I do understand what Bob Nielsen's thinking. He doesn't know if he's going to get the football back if Montana State gets it.
Might be the first time I've ever seen ESPN Analytics say kick. 4th down and 13. Pressure picked up. Bauman throws, and it's caught, and then the ball flies out. Are they going to say catch? I think they're saying he caught it. I don't know. Galbraith had it, the ball flew out, and they're saying catch.
I don't know if he got to the line to gain, though, Flem.
Oh, so that's the other part of this. He had to get to about the 1, and he's out at the 2.
Yeah, I think Galbraith is short. Great job by Bauman, hanging in the pocket, fearless, eyes down the field, delivering a good ball.
So even if they call that a catch, he didn't get enough to get the first down.
No, that's Montana State ball, and 4th and 13, there's just not a lot of play calls for it. Bobby Daly elects to bring pressure to speed up Bauman's clock. Not a lot you can do there, which is why I would have kicked the field goal.
So it was a catch. It was a good effort, but not quite enough. The Bobcats hold barely with 8:42 to go. Just that close from converting on 4th and long.
I want to go back to this 4th down play by South Dakota. You're going to see the clear out routes here, and then you're going to see the All-American tight end J.J. Galbraith try to work this sail route. It's a really good route, but this is a moment where he needs to recognize what the down and distance is and needs to push deeper into his route. He needs to get on that DB's toes, push it into the end zone, so when he catches the football, it's either a touchdown or a first down. It was a solid throw. Aiden Bauman did a great job of buying extra time, but Galbraith needs a little more distance on that route.
So now the Coyotes defense absolutely has to come up with a big play, and they have an opportunity to do that because the ball's at the 2. Montana State's going to hand it off straight ahead, try to get a little breathing room, and they do get a couple of yards of breathing room, but no more than that.
You know, and with the clock ticking here, 8.5 minutes to go, this drive really is the game, right? If Montana State's able to get a first down, melt some more clock, you know, they're really in control up 14. This has to be a 3 and out for South Dakota. See Montana State, they're going to be in no hurry. They're going to let the play clock roll down under 3 seconds before they snap the football.
Another handoff to Jones. Jones squirts through, and he got close. Stopped, I think, just a little bit short to set up 3rd down and 1.
It was a really good job by the Bobcats offensive line. Did a great job on the left side of the line with Moore and Mastel working a double team to make this a 3rd and short.
So here you go, South Dakota. 3rd and 1. If you don't get a stop here, you're looking at another couple minutes at least coming off the clock. Down 14. Still the freshman Adam Jones in the backfield. He's been the more effective running back today. Handoff to Jones, and he'll get there. First down, Bobcats.
There was no doubt who was getting that football there on 3rd and 1. Adam Jones, he just plays with such great pad level. It's so hard to stop him on those short runs, and that left side of the offensive line and tight ends did a phenomenal job of securing level 1.
He showed up in the opener. I mean, this is his first year playing, redshirt freshman Adam Jones, and he in the opening game where Montana State went on the road against what turned out to be a pretty good FBS New Mexico team, and they won on the road against New Mexico. And Jones had a big play in that game, had a big game. Handoff Humphrey, left side, and he'll get lifted in the air and driven to the turf by Dennis Shorter. Just to finish the point on Jones, Brent Vigen after that game said, you know, we knew it was coming. He's a freshman, but we could see it in fall camp. This guy's really going to be good.
Yeah, and what a special year he had. Freshman player of the year in the Big Sky Conference. But as you see this clock tick down to about 6 minutes, at some point, Bob Nielsen needs to start taking these timeouts. He's down 14 points. Montana State, they're going to continue to milk this clock. At some point, you need to put your chips in the middle of the table.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not going to have an opportunity.
You need 2 scores.
Mellott, another handoff. Jones cuts it middle and gets out to the 19-yard line. Almost broke it open. Got 5. It'll be 3rd down and close to 5.
See, right now I'm taking a timeout. It's 3rd down. You have Montana State in what could be an obvious passing situation. You're down 2 possessions. The clock is not your friend here. I would strongly consider taking a timeout.
Montana State has not had a passing yard in the second half. I think it's a good point you make. Who cares when you save the time? You got to save those seconds. And they're not going to snap the ball early. Down to 3, down to 2. High snap, handoff Jones, who slips. And now they will use their first timeout. So they got the stop, and they stopped the clock. Under 5 minutes to go. So Coyotes still have a pulse in this game. They call a timeout. We'll come back to Bozeman right after this. NCAA FCS Championship Monday, January 6th, 7 Eastern on ESPN. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Well, the crowd, which has been frenzied here in Bozeman today, hoping that their undefeated Bobcats advance to that championship game. Last sequence, though, keeps South Dakota's hopes alive in this game. So on 4th and 5, Bobcats special teams unit back out there. Brendan Hall, the punter. And your special teams has to make sure no big mistakes. Can't drop the snap. Can't let a rusher come in unimpeded, unblocked. Nice list, Christmas list for Bobcats fans. Bobcats, Mellott, Vegan, Taco, Brody. Championships down at number 6. Returnable for Bell, who gets dropped at the 30. Good punt, 52 yards, and a short return. So a long field for South Dakota, and they got to do it fast.
They do. They need 2 scores. The clock's not their friend. Now the good news for South Dakota is they still do have 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
You got the 2-minute timeout, but also in your favor.
You do, but you are about to face a stadium. And a defensive line with the Bobcats. 11, Kenneth Iden, 41, Brody Grebe. They are going to pin their ears back. You better chip the edges because you know that this is an obvious passing situation. Create some time for Bauman because it's got to have it now or never for the Coyotes.
Bauman throws, and it is a nice catch, a contested catch. Jack Martins goes up and grabs it. Now tackled short of a first down, so the clock rolls.
That was a beautiful catch by Martins. Strong hands.
2nd and 2. South Dakota's got to be in a hurry. Tice in the backfield. Bauman going to throw to Tice, wide open across the middle. He's got midfield. Tice bounces it right and then ducks out of bounds. That's a perfect play for South Dakota into Bobcat territory.
That was a great job by Bauman. He recognized very quickly that nobody was on Tice, got it down to his playmaker in space, and Tice handles the rest. This Coyotes offense is really in rhythm early here, executing very well.
Travis Tice playing like he refuses to accept that this is possibly his final game. Makes another catch and makes another man miss. Tice inside the 20. Just relentless Travis Tice. My goodness, finally McCade O'Reilly tackles him, and Tice is banged up. He's going to have to come out for a play.
Are you kidding me? What an unbelievable individual effort by Tice. This is just a basic 5-yard check down. Will not be tackled. Unbelievable effort.
1st and 10. Coyotes toward the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Martins. Martins wanted a flag. It's 2nd and 10.
A little bit of contact down the field. I think the pass was uncatchable. That's what the official was seeing.
Well, one thing, Brock, South Dakota has accomplished. They got the stop. And now here they are all the way down to the Montana State 20. Still 3:21 to go. Still 2 timeouts.
Yeah, no, this is exactly where you want to be. This is best case scenario. You do have to find a quick score here, though.
And Tice is still not on the field. Bauman is going to check down to Pierre, left side. Pierre will get tackled at the 15 inbounds to keep the clock moving after a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, you would like to see Pierre duck out of bounds there. But South Dakota doing a great job getting right back on the football. Keep an eye at the very bottom of your screen, Carter Bell.
Still no Tice for this play. And that time I think he did drop the snap. And has to fall on it, which means clock rolls, and it's 3rd down.
Bauman wanted to audible. He's walking up to his center, Joey Lombard. Obviously, they're not on the same page. Lombard thinks his quarterback wants the football. Bauman's trying to make an audible to his offensive line. Miscommunication.
Yeah, good point. It's not really a drop. He just wasn't expecting it. 3rd down. Over the top toward the end zone and knocked away, incomplete.
That was a great call by defensive coordinator Bobby Daly, bringing pressure to force Bauman to the quick throw. It's all things Montana State here. Great stop by the Bobcats defense, and they're a little over 2 minutes away for playing for a national title.
I mean, that snap cost him yardage, it cost him a down, and maybe it cost him a chance to play for a championship. Ooh, they're bouncing around here in Bozeman now. Just 2:22 stands between Montana State and a 15-0 record and a spot in the FCS championship game. They played there in Frisco in 2021 against North Dakota State. North Dakota State awaits the winner of this game. After the stop on downs, Montana State now. One more first down is going to do it for the Bobcats. Mellott under center. South Dakota does have the 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Handoff Jones, who gets swallowed in the backfield. And they will use one of those timeouts. Blake Holden with a nice play. What a game he's had today. Yeah, really good game.
Second charged of the second half.
I mean, South Dakota has actually outgained Montana State. Now, I think part of that is the Bobcats have been very conservative in the fourth quarter with the 2-score lead. They have not risked incompletions, clock stoppages, so maybe the numbers are skewed a little bit. But it's not like South Dakota's gotten blown off the field here.
No, I totally agree. And I think South Dakota, they made some adjustments at halftime, and they did a phenomenal job of digging their way back into the football game. I really think the difference right now, it's the second quarter. And in the second quarter, Montana State just took things over. It was ground and pound. Tommy Mellott made so many plays with his legs, especially on big third down conversions. And that's really where the game separated.
Yeah, I think it's well said. And, I mean, this is no knock on Aiden Bauman, who's a good player, but these teams are very evenly matched. One team has number 4. One team has Tommy Mellott. 2nd and 12. Jones gets the ball, left side run this time, and again, South Dakota there. They're going to blow the whistle, and another timeout called. So the last timeout for the Coyotes.
Timeout South
With
Dakota.
2:10 on the clock.
Timeout of the second half.
It'll be 3rd and long.
It will be, and South Dakota State, yes, the chances are slim, but they're still alive if they can get a stop here.
If you get a stop and you're going to get the ball back with roughly 2 minutes to go, the 2-minute timeout will stop it. So then punt play will take 5, 7 seconds, whatever it is. If you could get down the field quickly and score real fast, then you'd at least have a chance for an onside kick scenario where you have some hope.
Right, exactly. There's hope. The odds aren't in your favor. Obviously, Montana State, they're trying to close out this game with the ball in their hand. If they're able to find a first down here, they're taking 3 knees. Yeah. They're done. They're headed to Frisco. Expect an all-out pressure with South Dakota here. They're going to load up the box and not let any cheap yards happen for Montana State.
If you're Brent Vegan, do you take one chance on letting Tommy Mellott try to make a play instead of just handing it off?
You know, if you get a one-on-one matchup outside, which I see at the bottom of the screen, I don't hate taking a shot. I don't think that'll happen, though. They're handing the football off.
They will run it instead with Mellott, and Tommy Mellott gets tackled inbounds. No timeout, so they'll run the clock down to 2 minutes. Stop it there for the 2-minute timeout. And it'll be 4th down. So South Dakota's going to get the ball back at least one more time with 2 minutes to go in this semifinal game. There's still a little nervousness here in Bobcat Stadium. 2 minutes to go, 2-touchdown lead for #1 ranked undefeated Montana State, but all the pressure of the undefeated season, of the championship hopes, of your senior roster, of your all-time great quarterback, Tommy Mellott, playing his final year here. 4th and 6. South Dakota did get the stop. They are going to get the ball back. No timeouts. They're going to send pressure, and the punt gets off. And it's another just beautiful sky-high punt. Bell is going to return it and just had nowhere to go. Great coverage, great punt. 56 yards from the big guy, Brennan Hall.
Just a fantastic punt, and that's exactly what Montana State needed here to flip the field up 14. Great execution.
Just don't make it easy for them. I think that's the mantra for the Bobcats. South Dakota's got to go fast, and then they're going to have to get an onside kick, because they can't stop the clock themselves anymore. No timeouts.
Yeah, no time to waste. Got to push the football down the field and do it quickly.
Tice is back out there. Bauman throws, and they're going to pitch it back. Ball's on the turf. Almost tried a hook and lateral type play, and it did not work. Bobcats have it, and that's going to do it. And look who recovered the fumble to clinch a spot in the championship game.
Who else would it be? The Millstone Cowboy, Brody Grebe, putting a stamp on the playoffs and the regular season, and the Montana State Bobcats are headed to Frisco, Texas for a shot at the national title.
Grew up in a town of, we call it a town of 100. Brody says there are really about 40 people who live in town. And grew up on a cattle ranch, came here to Montana State, has been an All-American 3 times over. And look at the emotion. His final home game here in a place that he loves.
It says it all. The emotions pouring out, and this is a senior class led by Grebe, Tommy Mellott. 46 wins by this senior class, which is a school record. And now they're going to try to put the stamp on it in a couple weeks in the national title.
1 win away from being an all-time team. I mean, they've already been one of the great teams in this program's history, but they can put their mark on FCS history with 1 more victory and a chance at redemption too against the powerhouse, the dynasty of the last decade plus. What a matchup we're going to get.
And not only what a matchup, but I can promise you, Montana State, the players, the coaches, and the fans, they want North Dakota State. They knocked them out of the playoffs last year. They beat them in the national championship back in 21. And now we get that rematch. What a game it's going to be.
Second kneel down. They got to do it 1 more time. And then we're going to have a party in Bozeman. And you got to, just a quick hat tip to South Dakota. Historic year for the Coyotes. And a lot of talented players. Travis Tice just poured his heart out on this field today.
And they're here to stay. Aiden Bauman, he's coming back to school. They've built a program there under Bob Nielsen. They will be back.
But there's the final knee. 1 more win. And Montana State will have an undefeated championship season. It's not going to be an easy one, but their 15th win in a row here tonight on their home field. The final seconds ticking off the clock. Brent Vigen and his Bobcats advancing to the FCS championship. Grebe, Mellott, and all these storied seniors on this Bobcats team. 1 win away from an FCS championship. And here come the fans out onto the field to help celebrate.
What a moment here for this Montana State football program. The entire state of Montana. It's going to be a great game in a couple weeks.
Yeah, no kidding. In the chaos, down with Tommy Mellott. Let's send it down to Stormy.
Well, Dave, Brent Vigen said that no moment was too big for Tommy Mellott. When South Dakota wouldn't go away today, Tommy, why did you and this whole team rise to the occasion?
How we go about our business all year long. We've been about going 1-0 every single week, and this was no different. We prepared the right way. We got the guys, we got the program. I just love these guys, and they gave everything they could, and ultimately we got the win.
You told me this senior class has been extremely intentional about going out a different way. The season remains perfect. How sweet is this victory with that in mind?
Oh, it's so sweet. I mean, the amount of stuff that we've gone through together, our freshman year, being able to go to the national championship game, and now being able to rerun that and make a different outcome is just amazing. This group, like I said, they've just sacrificed so much over these 4 years, and being at this, having this opportunity is amazing with them.
You mentioned that 2021 national championship run. You're going to get another chance at North Dakota State. How much does that mean to you?
Oh, it means the world. I can't wait to go down there to Frisco and get after those guys.
Enjoy this thing.
Thank you.
All right, Stormy. All right, Tommy. Well, someday here in Bozeman, there might be a statue of that kid. That's how great a career he's had.
If he goes to Frisco, Texas, and beats North Dakota State, you're absolutely right.
You and I will chip in because he deserves one. Man, what a career. His final home game ends with this scene, and that's what the bracket looks like. We started with 24 teams the weekend after Thanksgiving, and the FCS playoff bracket has narrowed down to 2 remaining. The number 1 ranked Bobcats of Montana State, the number 2 ranked North Dakota State Bison, looking for their 10th national championship. Montana State looking for a perfect season and looking for redemption.
Endless storylines. North Dakota State, they've set the bar. Don't forget, Brent Vigen, head coach for Montana State, played for North Dakota State and coached there for years. Woo-wee! It's going to be fun.
A heck of a championship game. What a scene here in Bozeman. The Bobcats fans celebrate. They'll be in Frisco on January 6th to try to finish off a perfect season. For Brock Osweiler, for Stormy Bonantoni, for our whole crew, Dave Fleming saying thanks for being with us. We'll get you to studio after this message and a word from our ABC stations.